Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X today, like normal. I feel like this thing has like kind of a rattle to it. My headset has developed a rattle. I was like I spot check my videos afterwards sometimes, not always. And I felt like I even compared it to another video of another person. I played them both at the same time, and it's like I think mine has a rattle. I might have to get a new headset or something. I've gone through so many headsets. I tried the wireless ones. I don't know. I like the side tone. Side tone is where you can hear yourself talking. I like that a lot. So I find them unusable if you can't hear yourself talking. Uh, anyways, 2D4X is a video game that I'm creating where it's open source and um, it's made with the Godot engine, C sharp. It's a post-apocalyptic game, kind of like inspired by like Dominions and CK3 and Paradox games in general, Hearts of Iron, Victoria 3, all that shit. Takes place in North America. I already said this is Oregon and one county in Washington just for testing. And this is just our testing ones, and we'll expand this once we need to. I wanted to add one more in Washington just for fun, so the map would change slightly, but I think I'm gonna wait on that. Um, so what we're working on now is we have production being made in counties. If we can build these things. This is a fisher's shed, and people work here, and then it's supposed to produce these things. And what we were working on was like this construction progress the last few times, and it has been working, except that I ran a little test here. And so this is supposed to produce fish, wood, and money. And if we go into the resources here, I don't see any wood. I don't see any fish, and then money would be visible up here. I don't see any of those things, so we got a problem with that. And so we'll check that first. I have like a project on GitHub if you want to look at it that has everything that I'm working on, and as chat or me think of new things, we add them in here. Feature creep is a huge problem with this game, and we're never going to be done. It will be a never-ending project for the rest of eternity. So these aren't producing anything, so let's go check the code here. And I didn't actually open Visual Studio, so we have to sit around and wait for that to happen. It's actually going to be in county, but if I open this, it will probably open. And I think I closed everything last time. So we'll hang out, I'll drink some coffee. It takes 30 seconds or something for this to open. Yeah, I did close everything last time. So let's we're gonna need county, because this is like kind of how there's a thing. What I do, which is probably the wrong way, but it works well for me, is I have all these nodes so that shit runs in the correct order. So like, it goes kind of down these and up certain things, but so once it gets into the game, it like runs down this stuff, the county dictator and things. These are all controlled, and I'm gonna be moving stuff around a lot as I go and learn new things, because I'm just learning as I go. But basically, and I suddenly can't remember where the fuck this is. It's county generation runs first. County population, and then it runs this, and then the clock fires off this county thing, everything in here. So there's an event, the end of day runs, and then day start runs. This is here so that it doesn't subscribe to the clock when the map editor is running. Perfect. Glad I put a note in there. So what we want to do is they decide workday over. We must not. So I was like, did we finish this? But I had put in this test goods produced that cost more than 1 day. I don't think we were done, and I just didn't put in good notes. So I put in good notes up here, but not down here. Workday over for population. It's coming back to me here. I haven't looked at this since last weekend. Work keep working at county improvements. We want to look under work, apply work per person. This is what we were doing. So if it's very, should we just get rid of this crap? Let's leave it there for now because I have a feeling we might need to reference that. So it's going to see if the count, it's going through every population, the banker goes through every person. Let's pin county here because we're going to need that. And we'll probably need the banker too, so let's pin that. Workday over, so this is going to hit every person. You can, I don't know what this button does. There we go. So it goes through every person in this county data, and it's going to check if their activity is work, which it should be. We can actually kind of look here, and it says work over here. So we know that their activity is work because it pulls it directly from that. And then apply work per person. So then it does this, and it adds in daily work amount completed to the county improvement. I don't think we were done with this. I think we were getting close because this adds in this daily work amount completed to the county improvements. Then it should, after this, calculate work to goods production. Here we go, the banker. And I think I'm going to, like, basically I looked at a code of another video game called Rogue Legacy, and they had everything all nice and broke down. I would like to see a strategy game code, it would be great if it was in C#, just to see how they do it. But Rogue Legacy was in C# as well, so in my code's like, here, we're on line 400, so this stuff needs to probably be broken down, and I'll just find ways to, whatever. So what does this do? So this goes through, we're passing in a county data, and then we for each county improvement in the completed county datas, if it's the test we were still using test resources. Okay, and we got it to work with the test resources, and that was what we were doing. It's coming back to me now. So let's look at our county data. There's some large data sets. I guess they're not that large. They're large to me. So we definitely need this. Let's pin this, and let's actually move this over. And so we had this test thing. We needed to move this test over. You know what we can do, actually, which is probably a better way to look at this in its current form. We can look at it right here. We're looking at Fisher's Shed because that's our test thing. So what is our outputs? Inputs, county outputs. So this isn't going to work anyways because we're not referencing that right now. We took that away to run this test because I wanted to see if we could just do this just with a list. And it looks to me like it's easier sometimes to look in the game, which is kind of nice. The goods produced isn't showing the right thing either. So, okay. What is this crap? What we need to do, since this test did work, did it work? Improvement garden generated. Okay, because that's in Douglas. For some reason, Douglas is always making a garden. That's another thing I want to check later, just to make sure it's working right. What we need to look at is Portland. So they have these names here because Portland is the one is ours. I don't see Portland on this list. I guess we can just type in here. Portland is not on this list, so we have some other problem. Work for each resource. Like this is working. I wonder if I have something let's go back to the code that we actually care about. Something in here. Test county resource. Where Fisher's Shed. This says there's nothing in here. I vaguely remember there being a problem where this wasn't sticking sometimes. Sometimes, like, I had to restart the editor. What does this thing say? Oh, I guess it wouldn't tell us. But if this is, what are these guys putting out? These guys are, so let's look at Umatilla right here. They're generating work. So Portland should still generate work because they get like work points. That's kind of, it's work points. Value changed. I wonder what the hell's going on here. Oh, that was because I was looking at the resources. Douglas is really getting a lot of work there. I don't think we checked. I wonder why it's not hitting Portland. So what is this? If the count is greater than 0. But this is not this. So this is a different area. So what we got to check here is workday over, and these guys are on work. So apply work per person. Someone is working at, but we need county data in here because we need to be able to see what county they're in. Then let's run this because we need to make sure that there's something fishy going on. I think I'm funny, but I'm the only one who thinks I'm funny. It's a Fisher's Shed and there's something fishy going on. Okay. All right. We're going to construct this. I could have just like forgotten what state I left it in last time, and that could be part of the problem. We need a day to run by, and the Fisher's Shed is complete. We have 5 people working here. And now another day has passed. And so down here, someone is working in Portland. It's kind of a lot of people. See, this is the problem with this sort versus find, and I always complain about this. So this is filtering the whatchamacallit, the logs, and it filters it. It doesn't search them, and I'd rather them search because I need to see the context. So this is what I really wanted, which is there's 5 people working there, which is what we want. It's because the day changed, and the day changed, it kicks, things happen different days. So someone is working there. So if there's somebody working there, this number should be being produced, but we didn't have any other things. So like improvement test county resource. Let's look for that. Improvement test. So this one, let's put the county data in here too, the county's name. And man, I watched this other guy's stream. Some Godot, he was using C# 2, but he was using a different editor. He was using Visual Studio Code. I'm using Visual Studio or whatever, Visual Code. He was using Visual Code, and I'm using Visual Studio. And I don't think it matters the editor that he was using, but he never touched his mouse. He was able to jump all over the fucking place and find things. He was so fast, I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. All right. While I was talking, 4 days have passed. So Umatilla, let's look at Portland again. Okay. So we see these things, but that's actually not what I wanted. Work resource, work amount for each resource. This is where we wanted this. Let's copy this down here. Yeah, it was crazy. The guy was a pro. Like, I think literally. Yeah, I think his name was like, I can't remember. Something learns. Um, very quick to. He would just find everything. He would control F to jump to there, and it would be the thing. He was fast. He was just fast. All right, county. You know, I just noticed a bug too. Let's build this. The game is paused at this point, and it's supposed to be paused when the game starts. I close this. Oh, it didn't do it. Maybe I unpaused it, and I didn't. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. County improvement. Now the game is unpaused. We got 5 people working there. Okay. Portland. So they're working there. They're not producing anything. Someone is working in Portland. So what's happening here? Because this is less than 0, there's nothing in the count. Okay, so let's test this. What we need to do is put something in here, and then we'll change it over to what we want, because there's got to be something in here. So this has changed since last time. There used to, I'm almost positive. I should go back and look at the video. I'm almost positive that oh, wow, YouTube's all fucked up. Let me go back to, I clicked away right here. Dawn, thank you for the follow. How was your day today? YouTube is acting strange, but it does that sometimes. It definitely does that sometimes. I haven't figured out what if it's just like a YouTube issue. No, I think I did figure out it. Just sometimes YouTube is weird. It says like that the chat is down, but people can chat. So like on my side, chat's down. Anyways, back to the important stuff here. Let's add this in here, because I remember adding this in here. Maybe I took it away because I was testing something else, but we needed something to be produced out of here. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? We'll put fish in, since this is a fisher's. Whoops, we got to add an element. Then we're going to put this fish in here. We're going to save this. We're going to run this. And then we'll see what happens here. We got to keep an eye on our debugger down here. My day is going good. Still warming up the old programmer brain though. It happens every Saturday. I gotta get things rolling in my head here. All right, Fisher's shed has been completed. We got a bug. So, I think this was happening last time. This is coming back. What was the problem? So if this... So how did I do this? I had this thing I wanted to look at, or I couldn't decide on. So the thing I couldn't decide on was, yeah. So with this, so there's 2 ways to do this. We could make a dictionary where it has the county resource and then the number it produces every day. Or the way we're currently doing it, we put the amount in the county resource, we put the amount it produces every day, but we would have to have different, we'd have to adjust that depending on the type the county improvement that is producing the resource. So for example, this is primitive shed, fisher's shed, or whatever. These aren't the final names for things. These are just test names. But the primitive fisher's shed is going to produce less than the high-tech fisher's dock, or whatever we call it. So we would have to adjust these daily resources in the county resource. The county improvement would adjust the amount of work left over. Or not, sorry, I read this while I was talking. The amount that they produce each day. And so that's why we're doing this test in the first place, is we're trying one with just a list, because a lot of times I have to like work through the problem and then go, oh, this isn't gonna fucking work, and then go back and fix it. And I'm at the this isn't gonna fucking work stage right now with this. I think we are gonna need a dictionary or like another public class, which is exactly what I was going through last weekend, where I was like flip-flopping back and forth. But what is this problem here? Calculate the number of items built. what are we getting this work amount for each resource? So we're pulling this from the county improvement. And what is this actual error? Is this like a divide by 0 error? I think that's what we were doing, a divide by 0. Yeah. That's what we were getting. Work amount for each resource is 0, and that's what we're trying to divide by. Okay, that's easy to fix. We just put a 1 in here. That's not. No, it was a 2. It was a 2. Except wait. Now are we getting this from this is from the county improvement this time. So we got to go back to our Fisher's Shed. Come here, Fisher's Shed. Oh, we're already here. But not this part. We got to do it. See, this is confusing. A dictionary might just be easier because a lot of the things I want to, we got to make it so it's easier for myself later. Like when I add a bunch of county improvements. What is the name of this variable? Work amount. I named it the same thing too, huh? Where is this thing? We might have to filter some properties here. Okay, no, this was the right one. I was thinking I was on the wrong thing. So this should be 2 because that's what we were using to test. It's not really going to be 2. And I think this was not a bug. I think I deleted that, a bug in Godot. I think I deleted that to test something. Or whatever. Okay, Fisher's Shed. We go up. Wait till day 2 here. Or day 3. We got our bugs again. It's the same place. Work cost. Work cost is under the resource, which is even more confusing. I guess actually we could do it this way. The work cost, work amount for each resource. Work amount for each resource. What the fuck is work cost then? Isn't that the same thing? Today's amount generated. So what we're trying to figure out here is the number of things. Okay, all right, this number should be getting generated up here. This work cost is our problem. The work cost should be 2, which once again, this should be, so I've started a new thing. Do I have it on this? Not for inspector. So what we do is we go back to our county improvement data, which I don't actually have open because I closed everything. Let's go to here. Let's pin this and let's move this. It goes up here. So we need these to be exported because we're going to need to save this crap. And everything that when we save a resource, it has to be exported. So, but this is something that we don't want to fuck with in the inspector. But if you put an export on there, it goes into the inspector. But we don't want to fuck with this one in the inspector. So that's what that thing is. Did I put our thing in here? Where's our? I'm pretty sure I did, but it's gonna be here. Work cost is 2. It's kind of good though to look at it with fresh eyes from last weekend because I probably was looking at those 2 numbers last weekend because I wrote those and couldn't see the problems. So let's build this thing again. And we're going to work on save games once we finish the scouting equipment thing because I started a save game in another one of my games and it was we aren't getting any bugs now. And I was like, oh shit, I need to do a bunch of stuff. Okay, so we finally got Portland in here. Work amount for each resource. Oh, I think I was fucking with gardens yesterday or last weekend. It was gardens that I was fucking with. That's why it was kicking in on all those other ones. Okay, so Portland has generated 57 works, and work amount for each resources. So this is divided by 2. That's right, because they cost 2. So there's 57 fish that were generated. I have a feeling this is not going to apply over here. Yeah, it didn't apply over here. We want this to add, like update. We need to add the fish in. So that works. Now, do I like it? I don't like it. Because there's 2 issues here. Well, for one, the main issue is that if we put let's go back to our fish here. If we put the work cost here on the resource, back to the building example of the better fisher shed or the fishing dock versus the shed, we would have to somehow adjust that in the code. So we would have to put it like, I'd rather have all that information on the shed, on this thing. On the cost of making something. It's just kind of confusing. I have to change my music that you guys can't hear because it's bad. All right. So our test works, but it doesn't work in a way that I like. So how do we want to do this in a perfect world? In a perfect world, the county improvement would hold all the information of what it produces, regardless. So we would have to have, and it would have to be easy for the developer to see, because we also need to be adjusting this shit as we play test the game later, because there's gonna be a lot of like balancing issues, especially at the beginning, where we're gonna have to be adjusting things constantly. So we want to be able to adjust things easily in here. If we use a dictionary, we can do this, where we can just, we have our resource. And we have our resource, and then we can just put the amount. And these old ones they were putting out, this is, it would produce 5 wood every time. I guess we'll go back to a dictionary and we'll do it cost. So it will be the cost of, trying to think of a way to do this so that, once again, it's easy for the developer. So the developer would have to, it's easy for me later. I hate the strings on the hoodies, so I always tuck them in. I don't know why I hate them. And I noticed one of the strings on my hoodie was hanging out like a savage. So if I look at this in the future, I'm going to be like, see, it only tells us it's an int. It doesn't tell us the name of the variable. So I think, let's go back to this dictionary. Well, here's our test crap. Let's comment this out, because this is going to be a problem, because we're not going to use that anymore. And this we'll adjust. We want to see all the bugs that causes, so we can adjust it over to this county output goods. And this is the last time I'm going to do this, because I keep swapping back and forth. We're going to do this. So this will have the cost. We might have to make this a public class, like have it be a county resource, public class of some sort. But right now, I think this is going to work as just an int of cost. 5 is fine. We'll leave the 5 in there. Let's go back and go through all this crap that I just broke. We'll comment this out. We'll go over to here. This is going to be county output goods. And we're going to copy this, though, because I'm going to use that a bunch. Here's another count. And this is a, okay, I guess it's fine. No, it's not. This is a dictionary, so it can't go through this the same way. So we're going to do key value pair. And this is going to be key value pair. And then what is your problem? I always do this every time with going through a dictionary. I think, let me search here. Oh, right. I just gotta tell it what it's in there. Where did that go? We were right here. See, this is the problem when I break all this shit up. It's gonna have no way to find anything. And my terrible memory is we don't want that. We want to apply work per person. Now I'm going in a circle. It was under population, apply work per person. No, I'm on the wrong spot here. Go back to county. It's this. This is what we're doing. Yeah, I do this every time and I can't remember. And then I go, oh yeah, no shit. County. Resource data, comma, int. Then it knows what it's going to go through here. Then we go county resource name. This is going to be key value. Nope. This is going to be key value pair dot key. And then we'll put the name in there. Let's copy this thing because we're going to use this a bunch of times. And we're no longer using this work cost. So let's actually get that out of our resource so that we don't get confused later. Let's do this. Let's pin this because I'm going to be working there. This is a bunch. Work cost needs to go. Work amount. I don't think that needs to be there. Anything work left over? No. Today's amount generated. This should all be on the county average daily amount generated. That we need for something else. Remnant substitutable we need. All of these things should now be on the county improvement level. Yes, we're probably going to have we're going to need to have a public class for that, but we'll see how far we get here. Key value, no, this is going to be, yes, key value, key work cost. Did I not add that to our, no, that's checking county resource. So this is going to be value. This is our value of the dictionary is the work cost. And then if this is less than our key value pair, let's make it so that so that this is easier to see all in one spot. We actually want this. No, we don't. We want this and we want this. And then we're going to do we're going to do this is going to be county improvement data 2. Okay, I'm just double checking with my mind that everything today's amount generated equals 0. So why we need that to be in our county improvement data, daily work amount completed. today's, what is this today's amount generated? All right, so this we're back to this is a clusterfuck, but more complicated gameplay, you know, more complicated stuff. This is today's amount generated needs to be part of that dictionary because, man, that's why I put all that shit on the county or on the resource data, the county resource data, was because I'm gonna have to make another public class that this resource has inside of it for each that's in the dictionary for each one of these. Man, that's why I did that. The problem is it's gonna get confusing. No, the problem is that it's weird to have it in the resource. Yeah, let's keep it broken up as much as possible. So let's do this. We'll do a public class. Not a resource. We're gonna do a resource called something. We're gonna go over here, all the way up to here. Come on. Create new script. This thing is going to be called production numbers? No. We will call this, I think I have another, yeah, I was about to say I have another, what is this? These are activities. One of them is called work. All right, we don't want that. Work. Let's call it production for now, because this is production of the goods. This is going to be production data. Yeah, that works better. So we'll do, oops, I forgot to do something, but it doesn't matter. I can change it here. Where'd you go? This needs to be a resource. And then we'll go over and we're going to copy over all those things I commented out. And it's going to all go in here. And these are going to uncomment. Man, there's a hotkey to make these uncommented, which I don't know what it is, and I probably wouldn't use it anyways, and I would need to learn. That dude I was talking about earlier, so fucking fast with that shit. Whatever the hotkey, he's never touched his mouse. That's the thing. He had everything, so he didn't have to touch his mouse ever. Work amount, work cost, work amount left over. Today's amount generated. I think that's what we're gonna need for that. We're going to have to create one. No, we don't need to create one. I don't think. We're going to go back over to our county improvement data. We're going to go to this dictionary. And this dictionary, oh, those are inputs. This is going to be a production data. Now we're really causing chaos here. Then we're going to save this. I can't build with all these bugs, which is a problem. Declare a namespace. Definitely want to do that. Let's see if the weird thing happens. So there's this weird thing that happens. If I do this, it throws a bunch of warnings. Yeah, it still does it. I don't know what the deal is. It works sometimes, and other times I got to do it like that. All right, we're going to comment out like huge swaths of code here because I need to test something. I just need this shit to shut up for a minute. Where are we at? The banker? Okay. We got one more. Add storage to county. I don't know what that does right now. I'm going to put a note right here so I don't forget about the add storage. And I'm wondering why shit doesn't work later, and it's all commented out. Add storage to county. Commented a bunch of shit out. Okay. Well, now we're in a never-ending thing here. Whoops. And, oh, I must have commented out too much. Nope, it's fine. So let's see if we can build this. All we need to do is build it so I can look at the county improvement and then see how if we can adjust that thing. Just wait for a second. Come on. Just wait for a second. Let me build. Let me build, please. There's probably a better way to do that too. Now my crows are visiting. I have a couple of crows that come in the backyard. They don't come in the backyard that frequently anymore because did you do it? Because I have a cat that hangs out. All right, let's see this thing. They used to hang out all the time in my backyard. We need to go up here actually, and we need to go to Fisher's Shed. And we need to look at faction output. Well, this didn't build because this wouldn't. Did I adjust the wrong thing? County isn't saved for some reason. County improvement data. Outputs. County output goods. Outputs. County outputs goods. I don't think this built. Because this should be gone. Because this is not an int. Oh, it says resource. Wonder how we're gonna do this. This is somewhat of a pain. If we go down here, oh, you know what we need in this thing is that. Let's see if that solves our problem because it just said it says resource there. There we go. We're ignoring these things because these will go away once I fix whatever I just did. These warnings will all go away. Oh, you know, no, they will not. These are things I've been fixing. At some point, something changed, and it doesn't like it that I named a bunch of shit the same thing, even though they're in different scripts. Okay, so we have a production data here. Let's clear these off. This is county output goods. We're gonna add a new one. So with this, so we are, just to make our lives easy, we are going to want to create a resource over here for the production data. And just in case I need more, I'm going to make a folder and just put it in there. And then look at this, like, I guess some of these I say like faction resources, county resources. Oh, but these are resources. See, this is, I'm changing it to goods. Goods is the word we're going to use going forward for that. Then we're going to create a new resource called production. And we're going to call this generic production. And then it's just going to have a nothing in here. Perfect. It's got nothing in there. And then we'll go back to our Fisher's Shed. And then we're going to put in fish, county output, and then our generic resource here. And then we're going to save this. We're going to have all this stuff Average daily amount generated. That should probably be in the production thing. So let's move that over to, let's comment this out. So that's a number that we're going to be using for basically the player. So the player can look at stuff and understand it easier. One of my things that I notice in a lot of indie games is sometimes, because I stream a lot of indie games on my other channel, is sometimes the developers will leave it kind of like in the games and kind of like developer speak. That's what I'm calling it. Developer speak, and then it's so confusing for the player. They're like, what the fuck is this? Why is everything divided by zero, or counted at zero, starts count at zero? It's just weird. Okay. Factory, we're going to fuck with this one later. All right, we got to put this back in here because it broke. We can put this here. We can put fish. And then we save this. Work cost. We probably should put a check, like if the work cost says 0. Maybe we want it to break or to throw an error if the work cost is 0. Yeah, I watched a tutorial and there was a guy who was talking about like debugging or whatever, something. And he said like the bug, it's better to have a bug that like horribly breaks your game so that you know that there's a bug there instead of having a bug that kind of works, like things slide past it. But we're going to do a work cost of 2 again because it's easier math. Work amount left over. I don't remember we were using that before. Oh, I know what we were using that for. Okay, so now we have our test thing with our production data. We can edit it in the editor. We have our county resource, so if we need to look at the resource, it's going to pull like the names and all this shit. Average daily amount generated. Didn't I comment that out? I didn't save it. There we go. Remnant substitutable. Perfect. All of those are good. So now we can go back through and fix all of the things that I just commented out. And let's start by going through as if we are workday over. We need I think this should be moved to inside the work. Apply work per person. I kept moving these skill checks outside, but I really think they should be in here. But whatever. We'll deal with that later. Oh, here's a note about it right there. So this should go through, it's going to current county improvement daily work completed. This should be at a county level because this is this improvement's complete work is going to be generated. So it generates a number of all of the work that was done at that county improvement. So this is, let's rename this. All daily work amount completed. All daily work at improve. I love like really long variable names. The chat does not like it. All daily work amount at improvement completed. Chat does not like that, but I do it anyways because then I can just look at it later and know what's going on, I hope. Let's double check that this is working. It's checking the county improvement. It's checking some skill levels. There's a skill check. See, I think the learning should just be at the bottom here. But I think I did that because I wanted to make sure that there's some stuff that you don't get a skill check, but I don't think we've even encountered that yet. All right, so that works where the work, well, let's go look at it one more time. Then we go to apply work per person. Let's get rid of this stuff because I don't remember. I don't care about it anymore. Zombie code. There we go. It's gone. This is much nicer. Someone is working at these places. Perfect. That's good for our testing in a minute. Then we got to calculate work to good. And this is the main thing that I was commenting on, all that crap. So we're going to have, it's going to go through each county improvement in the completed county improvements. It's going to say this test improvement list. We don't actually need this anymore, I don't think. That was for a different bug we were getting. And then it's going to go through and it says if this count is greater than 0 and that there's workers there, because before there's certain places that don't have any max work, like there's no workers can work there. So it was checking them and it was failing. Divide the number of goods that improvement generates by the work amount. Ignore the remainder because we don't care about it. There's going to be like some minor amount of work lost per day. We don't give a shit. The county improvement work amount for each resource. So this is also saved at the county improvement. That's actually an okay name. So we're going to take this as the total amount and we divide it by the number of goods and we get this work amount. So it depends if you have 3. Lord Mac, how's it going? Is it Saturday for you? It has been. You know, I had to make a. I kept flip-flopping last time, and I had to make a decision on how I was going to do it, and I made the decision. Sometimes that's the thing. Leadership. That's what they say. That like if you're a leader, it's better to make the wrong decision than to make no decision at all. Okay, so this divides by the number because we could be producing 3 different things, and then this is the amount thing that we want, and then this is changed to production data, and then we're gonna go key value pair, and then pretty much, yeah, going through and figuring out the consequences of trying to also make it easier on myself in the future. You know, that's one of the keys. Though I don't always do that. So this is going to give us and this value though should be like work cost. And then this county and print work amount for each resource is less than work amount. If the work amount is less than the work cost, no good is produced. Yeah, this is that, but work cost is what we want. If the work amount is less than the work cost, is no. And then this isn't going to be this though. This is going to be key value pair value. We're gonna have to do a whole new thing too for the other part, which actually I think that's what this. I don't remember. We have to do something. This is gonna go to here. Work amount for each resource. I'm gonna put this down here. I try to keep it about 200% and then make it so that this whole thing can be read in one fell swoop there. And then I like to like manually look through this, even though I can hit tab a bunch of times and it would fill it in, just to make sure that like everything's making sense. That looks right. And then we commented something else out. We commented a bunch of shit out. One of them was add to storage. Oh, no, add storage. 2. Wonder why I haven't just deleted that. This is going to be production data. Which command? What is this? This is supposed to add the storage to the county for like warehouses and stuff. They didn't do anything. I like did all that, preemptive work and then moved on to the next thing. And then at some point I was like, wait, did this even do anything? And I looked and it's like, I never wrote the code for it to actually give you the warehouse storage bonus. And so that's what this is doing. Well, this is what it's supposed to do. This was doing an int. Oh, this is going to be weird. It does. It adds the storage to the county level. So, like, if it's a warehouse that, it's not a freezer. Yeah. So, like, it goes through the county improvement. And this happens when you build it, though. I changed it. I don't know if you remember this, but a long time ago, I was talking about, like, should we have people work there? And I decided it would cause your storage to fluctuate too much. So now I have it where if you build an improvement, it automatically just sets your storage. And then we haven't gotten to the point where you can remove an improvement, but we'll have it where we'll remove the storage if you remove that improvement, and it just sits there. There's no people need to work there or whatever. I think it would cause too much chaos for the player if people were like not working there one day and you fucking lost all your storage. So this was just adding a straight value to it because we were typing in. Wonder if we should stick in some weird like storage thing just out of laziness. What is the county improvement? I mean, that wouldn't really be laziness, but so before I was putting in that's a different problem. The troubles with dividing the storage, that's a different problem that I've just given up on. Basically, I gave up on it because it works if it's even numbers pretty good. It doesn't work that well with odd numbers because you get that one extra one, and it throws off things, but it still worked. It just didn't look that great. And it actually, when you add the storage, it's kind of weird too, but I haven't figured out how I like it. So I'm moved on. So this is a resource that we need to, so this is broken. We need to put so let's look at storage perishable. We could see the reason why I'm overthinking this. Is this still running? Is because on this page, how I had it before is it would fill in Where's our converted warehouse? Non-perishable storage. It would just put it in here. So nice. We can do this. We can do this. Yeah, this is what we do. We go into our production data. We go into converted warehouse. We delete this thing. We add in perishable storage. Nope. Yes. Then we add in our generic production thing. Where are you, generic production thing? P for production. And then we add this value. Why does this look like this? Wait, is this not going to work? Let's go back to our Fisher's shed. No, this will work. All right. Then we do work cost. Oh, we have to make this unique, which is going to be a kind of weird. Then we say the work cost is 1. And we want to do because it's going to skip. So how are we going to do the math on the other one? We got to think this out. So on this other one, it's going to take the work amount. There's a checkbox on this, I think, on this storage that says it's storage. There is, but it's neither one of these are checked. That seems strange. And then research, we're also going to kind of have these same issues. Let's go back to this production data, and then we'll put in here export group. Do we need an export group? We don't need an export group. We'll do a public, and we'll say we'll say storage amount. And we'll just have to put a check in here. And so this would be value.storage amount. And then this if the storage is non-perishable. Oh, I see what we're doing here. Okay. We're always going to add the storage amount, but we need to know which part of the county data is getting the storage. I was like, why are we splitting that up? Okay. We're just going to do storage amount. We're going to build this thing over here. And I know I commented out a bunch more, so we're going to have to figure out what else I commented out. Then over on this thing, we're going to go to here. We're going to do output, production data, storage amount. We were just saying 500 for this test. And this can be 0, except I think we're going to get a bug there, but I think we want that bug to happen. It's like I was saying earlier, when stuff breaks, we want it to be catastrophic, so we don't have to dig through and figure out some minor problem. Shit, an hour's already passed? How does that even happen? We're not getting any bugs. What about all this stuff I commented out? We're gonna have to fix this. The goods produced is broken because it actually didn't bug out on that because it doesn't understand what we've done to it. goods produced. I guess we should go through that first. We should go through and make this. We're gonna use this. We're gonna do it this way, regardless. And hopefully, we'll never have to come back to the other way. But let me take a quick break, and then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause my music. You guys can't hear. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, sort of. Let me hit play on this music you guys can't hear. One day I'm gonna accidentally turn on, and you guys will be hear that I'm just listening to the same song over and over again. Not always. Sometimes. What were we doing? We gotta fix that thing. So that thing is this control. This is going to create the county improvement buttons, and we need it to go through. I think it's the county improvements themselves, actually. What the fuck is this? This is it. This is the one. And this is where I commented it out. This is now a production data. Yeah, this is the one. Add a goods panel. We got something in here. But this is no longer. It's a T. What the fuck is a T? Chat GPT helped me. Chat GPT wrote part of this. This is a production data, but can I just do that? I guess so. So, oh, this is the faction data. Let's comment. Oh, this is generate input goods? This shouldn't be. Why do you have a problem? Oh, add goods panel works for all of them. Well, why did I do that? Why did I make it so nice? Okay, we're gonna comment this out temporarily. We don't have the faction data set up right yet. We'll fix it in a sec. We'll do that after we get this part to work. Cannot convert from int. Didn't I just change that? Oh, this is input data as well. Oh. We're gonna have to fix all the input data too. Input data needs to be a production amount too. How are we gonna do that? Can I still look at this? Where was I getting these numbers before? They were from a dictionary. Maybe we need to have two different things. Goods produced. Because it works pretty well with the dictionary for incoming costs. We don't need that other crap. Let's do this. Add input goods. And then this was an int. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And then we'll have like, whoops, not a capital. We'll go back over here. And then we'll put this, will be, Joker, how's it going? I should be. Is YouTube not working? It was acting strange earlier. It was acting strange earlier. Oh, now it's not even. No, it kicks in. I don't know if chat's working because it doesn't show. Like chat's broken on my side. Oh, both Twitch accounts. Yeah. Can you do that? That'd be strange, but so what? Oh, we rename this. Add input. Input. Now that worked. Thank you for testing for me. I can't even on my side chat. This is like a error page. Okay, so we have the input goods going in. We're gonna need another copy of this, but it's gonna be different for our other goods. This is generate output goods. So this is the one where we're gonna change this around. Where did our T thing go? Generate input goods. No, generate output goods. Where the fuck am I here? It was, we're gonna name this output goods though. And we're going to copy this thing. And we're gonna go like this, and we're going to go output. And then this is going to be a production data. You know, I thought about doing, what game was that? I thought about doing that with a game that had a lot of downtime where, like, I can't remember what it was, that had like where you wait around for the turns, and I thought about having another little box of another game that I could bring up and play that. I think it was Dominions, because Dominions has like kind of a long-term time, you know, turn time. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's like 20 minutes. Add output panel goods. So this is going to go through. It doesn't like this because of the faction level. So let's, for this one, we're gonna comment out the faction part for now. Then, wait, this is generating output goods. Yes, we're gonna comment this out. And why are you have a problem? Add input goods. This is our output goods. And add goods panel. This is generate construction. So this is actually going to use input goods as well, because they're inputting goods. And then I think that we have a problem here, but it's not telling me we do. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I streamed Warlords. This is like, you know, a game from 1990 on Thursday night, and that was the game I was thinking about having up in the corner. It's some old game that was pretty... Well, that doesn't look right. What about these other things, though? Input goods, those are fine. Construction goods. But our goods produced aren't showing up anywhere. But do we have any goods produced? Let's look here. Let's go back to our Fisher's Shed. County output. We don't have any. Did I put any on the... And the only place we have any is I put one on there. So let's generate some fishies here. So this should be fish. And then this should be our generic production. And I think we're always going to want to make this unique. We're going to save that. Let's open up our README. Because I'm going to need instructions for when I do this later. Okay, adding an in-game county resource. Okay, this is not what we wanted, but I thought I'd already worked on this. We're going to do adding a, you know, we could call this adding a county good. And then, why, no period. Adding a county improvement. Make production data unique in inspector. And yes, we want a period there. Okay. So we have it. We need to put this up. We have this work cost of 2, which is, we can change, but that's fine for now. So we have the fish. And then we will see here. And we should have the same bug, I think. We didn't get the bug, and we didn't get any production at all. Did I put it in the right place? county fish production data. Let's go back to our county improvement container. Generate output goods is all commented out. That's probably, no, it's only commenting out the faction level one. So what is this doing? So it goes through the county output goods. Let's double check. County output goods. We have one fish and we have a production. Did I not click that button? I didn't click that button. Then we're going to hit this button. You got to click that button. That's a requirement for when you add into the dictionary and then Spectre. Okay, so we got this same thing, which is fine because then we can figure that out. But we're on the right path. So add output good panel. We're translating the name of something. We're passing in a string called name. Why are we doing that? Let's move this up a little bit. You know what you can do is you can just, I think you can just copy this whole thing. Let's actually just cut that. Oh, except we want this up here. We'll just do this. It's fine. We'll cut this. I want this to be with this thing because we're going to be going around here. The key, we want value. Resource name, I think what this is. Can I make it? Can I do enter right here without it? Let's not do that actually. Let's put this down here. I think this is a resource name. No, this is going to be the key. And this is going to be resource. Did I call this just name? I did. Because I didn't like that it was, you know, there's a resource name and there's resource. Okay, so we're going to add this name. We're passing in this key. Once again, I don't really know why. Can we do it without that string of the name? Why did we do it this way? Can I just go key value pair dot key dot name? Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh, because we're doing this weird T thing. Why are we doing this T thing? Why can't I put in county resource here? And why can't I get rid of this thing? What is going on here? Output goods T. This needs a little thing over here. Wait. Key value pair. Gotta click the right things. What is your problem? Okay, maybe we have to do that T thing. We can't pass in a key value pair to a key value pair. Key value pair T. Why can't I make that a county resource? I can. Yeah, obviously I don't know what the fuck the T thing means. I don't know how that works yet. I should. It's like a basic list thing. It's a basic C# thing. So why don't you like this anymore? We would have to pass in. Oh, I see what we'd have to do here. Wait. We would have to. The type argument for method add blah 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 county resource string cannot be inferred from usage. Try specifying the type argument explicitly. We can't do like this. key value pair dot value. It doesn't like that. We got to tell it something. I feel like this is overly complicated and it should be somewhat simple. So how do I do it normally? I go for each key value pair. That's not what we want. Let's say I wanted to pass in, well, I guess I don't do this normally. I'm usually pulling this from here and I get this key value pair, which is like this thing. So this is I can't put a comma in there. And I can't just pass in key value pair because it doesn't know what this is. Oh, but maybe I just need to tell it. Maybe I go like county resource data, comma, production data. Maybe I go like that. Nope. Maybe I go key value pair like this. Nope. I mean, that's this. Let's do this and say key value pair, and then I'll go like this, and I'll go over to ChatGPT and see what it says. ChatGPT. How do I pass through a key? What's going on with the left side of ChatGPT here? Value pair. There's nothing here. To pass either key or value. Let's see what this thing says then over here. It wrote this. This is what it is expecting. Or this is what good add output goods panel looks like. Yeah, what's going on over here? There's usually a list of all my stuff. Looks like everything is correct on how you pass the method implement. It also appears consistent with your usage. You correctly set good.label text. Shut up. The type arguments for method cannot be inferred. Try specifying that. Can you tell me what you're talking about? You told me nothing. Alt enter gives me nothing. Show potential fixes. Alt enter. Alt enter. If I try it 16 more times, it'll work, right? Well, we don't need this string in here, so let's get this string out. We might have to put it back, but we can go like that. That's one less parameter. Cannot be. Try specifying the type arguments explicitly. I think it's this. That's the problem. I think it's this T that's there. Let's see what it says. It says that solves my problem is what it does. See, ChatGPT, you're full of shit. You don't know anything. Okay. Now let's go back to this. And let's drink some coffee. It's perfect time while we wait for this to build. I have one tiny sip of coffee left. The coffee was not very good today. I don't know why that happens sometimes. All right, we still have a problem here. Did I save this shit? I did. The key name. Let's fix this. I don't like this anymore. Let's rename this to good name. Because there's too many things with the word name in them. Back to our thing here. This is putting in value. Wait, what does this thing say? Perishable storage. Okay, so this is the problem. We needed to put in. This is actually a thing. We need to write a method for this. So basically, if we look back at this thing, we need to put in the average work amount. So if we go back over here, average daily amount generated, we take that. The average daily amount generated would be 5. What we do is we take the number of workers. Let's write this in here. Let's write down these notes somewhere. It's not going to be here. Well, whatever. We'll put the notes right here, and then we'll adjust it once again later. Getting output output number. So we need. It's going to be the max worker. Well, let's just make this a summary. Oh, it's not going to do it because I already typed some stuff. There we go. Get this shit out of here. Max workers times amount of work. And I think we should have a standard work amount. And so we might be able, so this is a standard amount that a worker generates. I was going to have it by county improvements. So like some county improvements generate more work. And then the cost would just be more. So how we would bring it down, we would have a standard amount of work, but then we would have the cost adjust the amount of, we need this open. We would have the cost adjust the amount that's produced. So once again, back to the example I was using earlier, a fisher's shed versus a fisher's dock. A fisher's shed would have a higher cost to produce the things than a fisher's shed. The cost of whatever. The cost of creating the thing. Globals, we need you pinned, and we'll put you way over here. And we need to find, because I had this in here somewhere, daily work amount. This is what we're going to use, is these two. And so this will apply to all things. So then if we go back to our, not this thing, production data, work amount, this should be work amounts after skill check. That's what we want that to be. And then we're going to get this average daily amount generated is what we're making right now. That's the thing we're doing right now. So, okay, max workers times the global amount of daily work without the bonus, divided by the cost, the work cost, equals average daily. The word average is not very good in that particular case, because it's not an average. Average daily, what did I call that shit? Average daily amount generated. So that's all we have to get this to do. So what we need to do, and we're going to put this in the README. We'll put this in here too. Max workers times global amount of daily work that it gets. So we have to put this. This needs to be set up correctly in the inspector. What did I put? You put with instead of without. Daily amount of work. I'll come back. 1 second. This needs to be set up correctly in the inspector. So the average daily amount generated is generated. We need a space in there though. Go back over to here. You put with instead of without. I don't know where you mean. What is going on here? In the bonus. Oh, in the thing where I was talking about bonus. Thank you. Without bonus. Definitely. That would have been later on. I would be like, what the fuck? With the bonus? Why am I doing it with the bonus? I don't know what this returns thing is. Okay. So we need a method here that does this. And what are we in? County improvement container? I don't think we want that here. I don't think we want that in here. We want it somewhere else. We could put it in the production data. In fact, that's where we're going to put it. We're going to put public void generate average daily amount generated. Okay. We probably can make this static. So what we're going to do is we're going to do max workers. Oh no, we don't know the max workers. We're going to put this somewhere else. We're going to put this in the county improvement data. And we're going to say we need to pass in a production data. And then I don't think we can make this static then. Maybe we can. And then we're going to go back to these notes over here. And we're going to skip this song that's playing. And then I know you guys can't hear it. Then we're going to go to, where did I even write those notes? Right here. Then this whole summary can go away. I just put that summary there because I wanted to write down somewhere what I was thinking. This is, we just want this line though. And then we'll get rid of this thing. And then we'll put this here. There we go. And we'll put that back there. Then we'll get rid of that. So we're going to go max workers. We're going to do production data dot average. I saw it. Average daily equals max workers divided or times globals dot instance dot daily work amount divided by production divided by me not being able to type production data work cost. And this is going to return, nope, it's not going to return anything. And this is, so we got this in the county improvement, and this we can save, but then this number is what we need here. And we don't have a county improvement, except I think we have a save. Let's see if we, yeah, it's right there. We can go county improvement data dot, let's move this down here too, so that, because it's going to get long. Dot, and I usually put this plus down here so I can tell what the fuck is going on. County improvement data, generate average daily amount generated, and then we're going to go, the production data that we're putting in is the key value pair dot value, and then it doesn't like this because this isn't what we want. Actually, what we want here is key value pair average value, whoops, value average daily amount generated is what should go there, but we need to generate that at some point. And we can generate this I mean, we can just type it in there. The problem is you're gonna make fucking mistakes and shit. We will generate this. Oh yeah, we definitely don't want to just type it in there because this could change. We need to, yeah, we definitely, and the max workers could change, etc., etc. This is also going. We'll have to figure out how this is going to work with storage. We're going to have a different thing for storage, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second here. This needs to be generated basically when this thing is built. That's not true. We want this thing to be generated here. So at ready, but we have no ready in here in this data. Maybe we can't put ready in. I don't think we have a ready in here. Whoops, not control D. No, we do. Update all improvement labels, generate. I'm thinking. I'm not just, I haven't like suddenly had a mental collapse here. Update construction status, hide everything. And this is inside the improvement things. I don't want to control X that one thing because these empty lines, because I actually have something on my clipboard that I think I need. This this is goddamn. There's a lot of shit in here. Do we have a banker in here? I'm going to try to start breaking this stuff apart. This is where I wanted to go. Yeah, okay. Update construction status is the main thing that it's going to go through, and then generate output goods, where we have all of this things. Add output goods panel. Then we go to the output goods panel, and this is where we need this thing. Okay, so we need this to go up at the top. Generate. We want county improvement data, generate daily amount generated, and then we need the production. Okay, so this isn't going to work actually. We need a for each in here. We need this actually to go through this. And we're already doing in the output goods, so I guess we're going to put it in here. It's going to go in here after all. It's going to go add child. Let's generate this stuff first. And then we're going to go key value pair value. And then we're going to go like that. All that for putting it in the line of where we were in the first fucking place. It's going to do that every time you open the fucking thing, though. I'm going to put a little note in here. This is going to happen every time the player opens the county improvement panel. So I'm trying to care less about performance. So I'm always worried, like, oh my god, this is going to take forever. But in reality, I think I need to worry less about it a lot, because it's not. In my other game that I've been fucking around with, I have a bunch of stuff in process, and I've always avoided that, but it had to be in there. And everything runs fine, even though it's happening every frame. It had to be there because I needed to adjust stuff every frame. And I was all worried. And then I was playing a different game, and I was like, oh, this updates every frame. It's crazy. So like, I'm just overly worried about shit that doesn't matter. So then let's see what this does now. Another 47 minutes have passed since I last said it was an hour. It's crazy. County improvement data. Okay, so we got some bizarro things have happened. We took care of this thing, so. Name is empty. Oh, you know what happened? No. I renamed that variable, and now all of these are blank. That's what I get, right? My friend sent me a bunch of videos from my job via her iPhone to my Android, and this always happens. They look like garbage, and I wonder what the deal is. I've never really looked into it very thoroughly, but every time I get a video from iPhone to Android, it looks like shit. And so I download it on my computer because it looks less like shit. All right. I'm going to move this over here because we're just copying stuff. What's the first one? Canned food. Canned food. County resource. Canned food. I think it's always better just to copy. Whoa. What the fuck? Canned food. Fish. Primitive scouting equipment. Remnants. Non-perishable. Perishable. Vegetables. Wood. Here we go. That was it. All right, that's the first step. Rerun it. Kind of nice, I guess, if that catastrophically crashes or we get bugs. We got one bug. And here's the fish, and it said 25 fish. So let's see, there's 5 people working there at the, well, we can look right here. 5 people working at the fish thing. We're multiplying that by 10 because that's the number in the global, so that's 50, and then we said the cost is 2, so 25 is correct. This thing is busted because it's probably like divide by 0 or something. Yeah, the work cost is 0. So we need to have a check in here for if it's storage or not. And I think we might have to have another check for research, but let me look. Let's see if what research did. We don't have anything in there because that's a faction level thing. It's fine. We'll get there. So what we need to do is say if county improvement type is equal to is not equal to storage, then we do this thing. Else, this is going to equal storage, whatever we called that thing. Storage amount or something. This is going to be production data.storage amount. Am I a millionaire yet? In real life? In real life, no. In video game life, I am a $1,500 millionaire. Okay, so let's see if this works now. Lord Mac, you're going to be a master programmer eventually here just by seeing the mistakes I've made. Perishable storage is 50. Fish is 50. So interestingly enough, we had a thing in here that made it so that this filled up the whole... If it was just one, it filled up the whole thing, and somehow that stopped working. It made the column 1. So like instead of having 2 columns here, it made it 1. I'm wondering what, like this one did. And this one, like how they all have a line, perfect line. I wonder what we broke. I broke. Let's go back to that. This is over here. It had to have been, oh, it was probably up in here somewhere. Check for goods column. There it is right there. Okay, so that's just, yeah. I don't know. Can I blame ChatGPT for such things? Yes. I mean, yes, that's my only excuse. Okay, so here's the check for columns thing. So let's put in, so this is working, is what I'm seeing. This is working to a point. So let's change this thing. let's change the work cost, because the whole reason we're doing this is so that we can make this, let's make this like 5,000, 50,000. What does this give us? Well, I don't know about that. That he only does what he tells us. It likes to flop around and do stuff. Okay, so this should give us some crazy. Yeah, just gonna give us a 0. So the other thing we need in there is how many days like if it's bigger, it takes whatever amount of days to produce one fish. And that's the whole point of this. So we got to go back to this output panel and this generate average daily. That's over. Well, at this point, it would, I don't know, 50,000 divided by 50. It's going to be 1,000 days for one fish. So we're going to have it do something different here. So I was just thinking we could just change it to a float and it would show that ridiculous number. But then the player would have to do the math in their brain. It'd be like, it would be, point whatever, whatever, whatever. Let's see what happens when I do that. This is going to be if we make this a float, I'm not casting anything. Casting for my fish. Casting the goddamn float to int thing. I think it's just gonna give us a, yeah, still give us a 0. So what we gotta do, so I think we do need this to be, I think we would need to cast these to floats. So this is a float. I think we have to make this like a float or something. I mean, I can make the daily work amount a float. Am I doing this right? Somebody tell me. It tells me I don't have to do any of this shit. I'm not doing this right though. Max workers. So this number is gonna be 50, and then we divide by the work cost, which is a higher number than the average amount, or than 50. So this is 50,000 divided by 50. So it should give us like a 0.000, whatever, 0.0001, I think. But I need it to be able to show that. And these are integers. I forget how to do this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell ChatGPT to do it. This amount, what did I call this shit? Average daily amount generated is a float. Make sure at least one of the values in there is cat. Which one? You don't give a shit. Why don't you care? That's weird. We'll make this one a float. All right, and it didn't gray out that time. Because when I had 3 of them in there, they were all grayed out like it didn't need to be there. I know I bring this up all the time, but I'm still amazed by how impressive the IDEs are these days. Okay, so there, I was off by 1-0. So this is what we wanted to do, except that I think that this would, you know, what the fuck is the player gonna think when they see that number? They're gonna think, what the fuck is that? Imagine it's not fish that we're dealing with. So what we need to do is an IDE. Now I'm second guessing myself. IDE definition. Meaning integrated development environment. This thing. Visual Studio. Just that it tells me that there's yeah, well that's what I keep thinking that I have it swapped in my brain. I'm like, wait, am I talking about the bomb? Yeah. um, it's this thing. So like when I make a mistake, this is the part that like, like there's a typo, it immediately tells me like, look, you made a fucking mistake. In the good old days, it didn't do that, and so I'm always still impressed. So I think what we need to do is when this thing, we need to return. No, we don't. We need to go to here. And then we would go if key value pair. Well, it wouldn't be here though. It would actually be here. I'm gonna take a break in a second. Another hour has already passed. If county improvement data dot no key value pair value dot average daily amount generated is less than 0. Is less than 1. Yeah, if it's less than 1. Yeah, less than 1, because if it was less than 0, it would never get there. If it's less than 1 daily amount generated, then we need to, if it's greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1, we do this thing. Else, we, oh my God, I don't know what I'm listening to. It's so bad though. Oh. All right, back to that. I gotta take a break in a second, but I want to finish this one thing. Maybe. This text is gonna be, how are we gonna do this? So if we look back at this, maybe I will take a quick break. So this is what I'm thinking. I was gonna say like 1 per week or something, but maybe we will just leave it like this and say fuck it. I mean, fish, it looks weird, but imagine scouting equipment, and it's not going to take that long, but we should probably, goods produced per day is what that should say. We fixed that, but I'm going to leave it there for a second. Change goods produced to goods produced per day. I think the player can figure it out, and if they can't, then we can fix it later. We're just gonna keep kicking. Fractions. I don't know. I don't like fractions myself. I'm not a fraction guy. I'd rather have percentages. I don't know. Let me go take a quick break and I'll think about it, and I will put up my break timer here, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Here, I'll put something equally as boring to look at. All right, there we go. I'll be right back. All right, and let's see. Yeah, I don't. The thing is, fractions also are not uh, divisible in certain circumstances. I don't know if that will come up, but it won't. It won't. It won't be like a number. You know what I mean? It would be like something strange. It would be a weird fraction. That's why I'm pro percentages. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think it's too much to worry about. What do we care, right? Let's just go back. As long as we got these floats here. That's a little too far though. No, keep going. Not far enough. Get rid of this crap. Come on. Keep going. We're getting there. I could probably just delete this. Good God. How much data does it save? How much farther does it will it save? There we go. One more. There we go. PP, how's it going? The game is a 2D 4X post-apocalyptic game that's inspired like Dominions and Paradox games. It takes place in North America. I only have the Oregon and one county of Washington for testing. And yeah, that's the context. We're building things and getting the production going. It's obviously not going to be one fish, but that was just for testing right now. In fact, let's fix that and let's do scouting equipment. So what did I do here? I'm gonna have to put notes in this too. So under production data, we'll go back to 2. 2 is really too low. we'll put 5 for now. And then scouting equipment, we got to fix these outputs anyways. It's got nothing in here, which is fine. But we'll put in our generic production. We're going to make this unique. And we got to put in our primitive scouting. We probably want to rename that to scouting equipment primitive. And this is the one, though, that's going to cost a lot. So we'll put 50,000, even though that's too high. Let's do 5,000. And then we'll save this. Let's do this test. And it looked like storage was working. We're not going to use the average daily amount generated, though, for the actual production, because that is going to include... so the storage is working. 10 fish. What are we looking for here? Scouting equipment. Oh, I didn't put the thing. I didn't click the thing. Because I ran it. Because I built, or, it gets built there. Let's do this again here. There we go. What did I decide? 5,000? Am I on the right thing? Yes. Okay. Just double checking. It's all open source, though my code is not very good because I'm still learning, but okay. I think the player will be able to figure that out. So then let's go back and fix this part. Okay, so this is going to be county improvements, county output goods. Why do we have county output goods in here? Oh, because this is checking for the column thing. But this is a dictionary to, okay, so let's fix this. These both, we actually have to fix this dictionary too. So let's go to here, because now we're using a dictionary with the production thing. So this is going to be a production data now, and a bunch of shit's going to implode here. But that's fine. We can go back to here. We'll get these two imploded things. Let's fix this first. This is going to be production data. This is going to be production data. And do we actually need to pass in the whole thing? The whole list? I guess we do. Then we'll go back up to this, whatever this problem is. Okay, so for this one is when we need that T thing, I think. This is why we had that T thing. Is, well, we can put, this is supposed to be production data. And are you using fields to store the resource data in instanced object, or just having a resource as a field and duplicating the source resource to have a local resource that's changeable? Are you using fields? They're going to be instanced objects. That's why I'm making them. I think this is what you're asking. That's why I'm making these unique, because each one is its own thing. Because there's going to be changes elsewhere. So there's going to be two different types of, or more than two. There's going to be multiple types of buildings that produce, for example, scouting equipment. So I need like an instance of the production data. And it will duplicate hopefully, this is a new thing when the county improvement is duplicated, even though it doesn't actually matter if it's the same type of. So each faction will have different scouting equipment workshops, right? And this production data actually doesn't matter if it's duplicated or not for those things. But if there's going to be different types of scouting equipment workshops that do matter because they're going to have their own production data. This is the whole thing we were working on today, because before there was problems and et cetera. And so I decided I needed a resource just for production data. And the reason I didn't make it a public class was I wanted it to be editable in the inspector to make my life easier in the future. Hopefully. What was I doing? We're passing in this, we're for eaching this shit. Add output goods panel, which it doesn't like this because this is why there was that T thing before. So now we have to figure out, this shouldn't matter. This should be, but this isn't gonna matter. Can I just pass a count in here? Let's look at this. I think I can just pass a count in here. Why am I counting these here? I can just pass a count in here. Are we doing anything with this besides counting? Yeah, I don't need to pass in this whole dictionary. Let's go like this. And go like this. This is going to be an int. And this can be an int. And then we don't need this 2 lines anymore. And then this, we will actually rename this to count. Let's type it, or type the correct shit in here. And then we're going to go count. And then we're going to get rid of this and this. And then we don't need this to be 2 lines anymore. And then we'll go back to where now these things are going to be airing out. We don't need construction cost count, except once again, we got to type it in there, right? And then this should say count. And then we can go back. This should be count. Count. And that's it for those ones. That solves that whole thing. Then we're back to this thing, which is the T thing. So for this, yeah, we still want the faction level stuff. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to fix this, and it's going to make it back to that T thing. I have 2 different types of resources: county resources, resource data, and faction resource data. And they need to both work in this code. Let's see what it gives us. It's going to be that T thing. No, what iResource? The fuck out of here. Maybe we could. I've never done one of these, and I've been wanting an excuse to learn how to do it. Yeah, here's the T thing, though, I was talking about. So T production. Okay, so the T is just like a generic thing where T equals iResource data. And then we have goods name. So we would have to generate an interface, define, I have a few, I have some events and some signals, mostly signals, like 90% signals, 95% signals, and then a few events. I was like, I went pretty gung ho with events for a while. I really liked them, and then I found all these reasons not to use them. Like I kept having issues with them. So then I just went, and most of the time there's a signal built in. I think I've only written, and I don't know if it's in this game, one custom signal. All the other stuff I've just been able to use built-in signals. You sound like an experienced Godot person, an experienced Godot C# person, which is even rarer. To handle, you can define a common structure that allows you to access shared properties like good names. I'm going to ask it, why an interface? Common contract without needing to inherit from the same base class. By using an interface, you can avoid code duplication, have similar properties. You can define these in an instance to ensure interfaces let you specify only the shared parts that are essential for giving a function without forcing unrelated properties or methods in your class. This can keep free to implement other specific features independently outside of what is called enable generic. By adding a type constraint like where t, you can ensure that the method only accepts types that, okay, let's do it, because I've never had an excuse to use an interface, and I've been wanting to try to start working that into my next level of learning, but I don't want to call it the way they called it. So let's do this. I'm gonna make a new whatchamafuck. What am I looking for here? Not here. I want it to be in scripts, a new folder, interfaces, and then we'll add a script. What did this thing look like? So the interface just looks like that. Okay. So we're going to go back to here. And this will be goods. Keep clicking on the wrong thing here. goods data. I'm not calling things resources anymore because there's the Godot resource and it's too confusing. I was trying for a while and with using resources and it just sucks. They're called goods now. And then we do what the fuck over here? We go, whoops. We go, this thing, and, well, we'll rename this. Goods. Goods or good? It's going to be good. Oh, am I going to be able to see this shit in the inspector? You think goods? good. It's for one good, though. I'm going to rename this here. I'm going to have to test this somehow, because it's inside of a resource. So it's this. It would be an I need to do something here first. First, I need to reopen that thing. Um, well, it's gonna have more than it's gonna have the whole thing in here. All of this is gonna get moved over. So basically, um, what it's basically saying is that we should change these into iResource data or whatever, iGood data, comma resource. And that way it's going to have some constraints. Basically what interfaces do, from my limited knowledge, is they basically make like a structure for your code so that it will, if I made, or let's say I made a third resource data, so there's county faction and then there's universe resource data or whatever. It would have to have all of these things inside of it or it wouldn't work or it would throw errors. But I needed to put a name space in here. I think. So I think I can go like this. I can't. Let's ask ChatGPT. County resource data and faction resource data are already a Godot resource. I think the thing that's going to happen is, oh, it doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. Oh. Okay, I guess it does know what the fuck it's talking about, but it's not. You wouldn't. An interface and a resource. So this is, in my other game, I was all excited. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get to use interfaces on this next part. And then I just ended up using resources because it was easier. So, all right. So that was just a big waste of my time. That's okay. We got somewhat on the trail of that. Close this thing. Delete this whole folder. Get out of here. We don't ever want to see you again. And back to here. Then we'll just do this. We're change. So that's the confusion. They're all goods now. They just say resource, but I need to go through and rename them. Originally, I was calling them resources because it's like wood and shit. That's a resource. But I've changed it, and I just wanted to call. I'm gonna call them all goods. So we're gonna use this thing. Oh, but it's saying that it wants. Oh, I see what it's doing. It did this before, though, without using that. Without doing these separate things with the T thing. Let's go back up here. With... I went way too far. With this... This is how it did it before, but it didn't do the where t equals whatever. We have that somewhere already in the code, and it's working. We had it somewhere before. I'm going to search for a capital T. Oh, that's not going to help me. It was under, there it is. We don't need that string name either. I thought we got rid of that. We want output goods. Output goods. I want to look at this thing. So it put this little thing in a T, whoops, capital T, and then it put the T here, and then that's it. And then the T could have worked for, get this out of here, the T, but it doesn't know what this is when it should. And this is what I was messing with earlier to get this to work, and I got rid of the T because it doesn't know what the T is. I wonder if we can tell it what the T is. Are you sure you're missing a using or a using directive or an assembly reference? What does it suggest? Oh, it wouldn't give me one earlier. No, not that. None of those are what I want. So this key is, it doesn't know what this is. So we have to tell it what this is. I wonder if I can just like cast it. Get the fuck out of here. This is, oh, but we won't know what it is. I did this another time with an inventory system. Why not set the type to, I deleted that. I deleted the goods resource. How similar are these actually? Maybe we can just have one type of resource. I think they're wildly different. Let's see here. Can you just put a resource in? Oh. Can you do that? Where was this? Like put resource in here? Get rid of this thing. It doesn't know what that is still though. What was I gonna look at? Oh, faction data. Where am I going here? Up, up, up. No, see, what? Not faction data. No, the county, yeah, the county resource and the faction resources are wildly different. They're very different. I did this another time. In an inventory system where they were different things. Oh, I used object. Oh, because this is using, this is way different. It is, we're on the other branch though. We're on the scouting equipment branch. I mean, I haven't updated it today. These are the changes from today. We're on the scouting equipment branch though. Don't make fun of my code. So that doesn't work. So how do I do this without adding this other crap? Let's ask him. Can I do this without adding iResource data? It's all fucked up because I asked it about interfaces. I went, but now it wants it to use interfaces or anything like that. Oh, it's using object. Maybe that. I thought I was in the object thing. Maybe I was. What is this switch? Oh, and this is actually how I did the inventory thing. Except I didn't do a lambda. I don't think I knew what a lambda was back then. Um. I mean, I barely know what they are now. So we put in this object. We put in the production data. Okay, I see what we would do. So we would put in the first part. Oh, okay, wait. What is this thing doing? We don't need to be this complicated. I'm overdoing this. We could do this way differently and it would be fine. This is, oh my God. We could do this. Oh, except we don't know. Okay, let's do this object thing that I was talking about. I think we can do it that way and it will work fine. We're going to have this little switch. There's only 2 of them. And I think did I call the other one good name though? I renamed that. That's going to fuck up all my faction data though. Or all my faction resources. That's fine. What did I call it? Goods? Goods or good? Good name. We'll have to copy and paste that shit over too. Let's go over here. It's not going to let me build this, so let's go finish this, then we'll fix the names. Then we will fix the names. All right, so we do that thing will be called the resource data, just like it did. And then the other thing we're going to pass in, though, is the production data. And we're going to call that production data. And then we're going to put a comma here. And then this is going to be, I'm going to move this over here. And not cover up chat, though. I wonder if I can make this thing go away. There we go. All right. I'm all thrown off. All of a sudden, generating output goods. We'd fix the count thing for, this is going to go through each one of these. We're going to add the key value pair. This is going to be value, not key. This is going to be value. What are we putting in here? We're going to need another a third thing. Key, we don't need the name actually at all anymore because that's dumb. We don't need that. Awesome. Helping out is good. You know, I always say this, and one other person has said they wanted to help out, and I went on this big diatribe, and I scared them away, I think. So I always feel bad, though, because there is a Discord. I always feel bad because I can't pay people to help out. Let's see if this thing works. And there we go. And tell me if that Discord link works. I can't pay people, but I do plan to pay artists. So it's like that doesn't really seem fair. But I am welcome any help, especially if it's help that helps me learn more as I go, because I'm trying, you know, obviously learn as I go here. Okay, so we pass in the key, which is the faction, and then we pass in the production, and we're going to look at that in a second. Add these. So this is going to be our production data. And then this is going to be our resource data. But we need that switch thing that it has in here. This is a weird looking switch to me, but we'll use it. Goods, that does all the same. And then what is this thing doing? This is the text thing. And we're going to use good name. Where are you getting good name from? This equals string. This string equals this switch that way. Okay. Now we're going to translate this. And then what does it got over here? Production data. No value though. Okay, we're good here. Okay. This we're going to pass in county resource. Key value pair key, comma, key value pair value with a capital V. And for some reason that solved all of our bugs. I need to put a note in this, get rid of this thing. Chat GPT wrote most of this. I like to remind myself when I come back later, like, where I got this information. And, like, we're not kidding anybody that I didn't write this. If there's a lambda in it, then I didn't write that. So this is going to throw in an exception, which I guess is what we want. We do want this to happen because that will be good if we have an issue. And I think we're actually going to have... No, we should be fine. Failed to build project. Let's build this thing. Oh my God, another today the coding has flown by. I cannot believe that shit. Did I restart it or did I think I just built it? Oh, did that Discord? No, it didn't go over to YouTube, did it? I didn't even think. Oh yeah, my YouTube thing's broken. But there should be a link in my YouTube chat is broken today for some reason. But there should be another Discord thing. Generate average daily amount has broken. Why? Why did you break? Object type not set to a reference. Are you talking about the faction thing? Because I didn't do this. We got to go back to our faction data here and copy paste these things over. I was about to say, luckily there's only a couple, but I guess that's not true. Building material. Equipment. Food. Influence. Money. Remnants. And research. and save. And restart. That could clear that up because it's the same as the other thing, I think. The other one that when I changed the name. All right, let's see what we got here. We got a bug here. What is this one? This would have been the Fisher's Shed. And it still has a problem with this. It's the same one. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. The Godot. I used to have it named for this channel, but I think it was confusing people. The Godot engine channel. And then people post the friends of taco, which it kind of looks like friend soft taco. Friends of taco. If people are working on stuff or if they have streams that they want to share, they post it in there. But yeah, we talk about Godot-esque things in there. Generate. What are we passing in here? Whoops. Okay, we're passing in the production data from the add outputs. Is this production data not good? For each one of these, today's Saturday, right? Value is production data. Key is that. And then we're bringing in this production data, and it's having a problem with what? It's set to a null value. Fisher's Shed. We have a production. There should be some stuff that doesn't have this, but there shouldn't be anything in there except these faction outputs are wrong. It's from the old it's from the old way we were doing it. That's what's going on. I'm just going to clear these out first. Faction resource, construction cost, faction output, scouting equipment. We got faction output none. Two of these had issues though. Let's see if that does what we want. I'm going to double check here. Output, nothing. I think it said that it we're getting there. We're almost done with this part. And then after this, we get the scouting equipment being produced. We're gonna make it so you can equip it in the heroes slot. And then after that, we'll build and we'll push, and then we'll work on the save game stuff. We have one bug now. Did I restart this? I feel like it restarted very quickly. Come on. That time. Okay. So we have the fish and the thing's working. Wish I knew where we were airing out here. I feel like I missed an output. Actually, before it croaked, it's right here. This is the research. I do have a faction level thing in research, I think. The research office. Yeah, there it is. Okay, one more check, and then we'll put in a real, because that was back when it was a dictionary where it was a resource, data, and an int. All right, yeah, that was the problem. Okay, so I guess I missed that one. So now let's put in a real faction thing. We'll do whatever, Fisher's Shed, and we'll add in money. We'll say that you generate money. You don't, but, and then we'll need the generic production thing here. And then we'll make this unique. And then we'll add, and then we'll make this, yeah, sure, we'll leave it at 2 for this. This is the faction level, and then we'll just run this and see what happens. So we should have, like, money should show up first, and it should be 25 because it's 2. And there it is, and then we get 10 fish. So that works. Let's go back to our scouting equipment, though. And let's, that's a resource. Let's go back to our scouting equipment shed, I mean. And let's make sure that this, it looks like it's still set up right. Okay, and then and this is right too. Okay, so everything's working. Let's check under our research and see if that works. It is. And then we have our Fisher's Shed. Okay, everything's working. I don't know why I'm so shocked. This is like a perfect time to call it a day too. But you know what I'm going to do first is back to the first thing that's on the project right now. I don't think goods produced is actually working. I don't think we're actually producing goods. It just is showing up in that one panel. So let's make sure that that's still an issue. So for tomorrow, let's let a couple days go by. We would have already seen the money would be appearing because we put money in there. So that is definitely not happening. Money would be filling in here, and we also would have food filling in there, and neither one of those are happening. Yeah, so this is not producing stuff. We changed something at some point, but that's not the end of the world because we now know what we're doing. So none of these changed. Let's fix this thing real quick so I can mark one thing off my list here, off my project. Change production to goods produced per day. Average goods produced per day. The reason why I left that, I didn't fix it right away, is because we have to fuck with the localization. This is going to be a phrase. Goods produced per day. Whoops, not gods produced. I keep like using the Visual Studio hotkeys for Excel and it just doesn't work. Like hitting tab, bringing you to the end. Per day. And then we'll translate this into Spanish. And and we'll do this. And we'll close this thing. And we'll go back to here and re-import this. And I should have kept that thing open so that I could have the exact, so I could just copy and paste it instead of expecting a typo here. per day. Per day. Okay. And all right. Last final check. Goods produced per day, 500, 250, or sorry, 25, 10. How does research look? Research is, man, it is hard to read this shit. It's just supposed to be usable, but this is really hard to. Research office does not have any production. Let's add that real quick before I call it a day and see what happens, because it's also a faction level resource. Research office, faction level. Research, generic good. And we want it to be 500. So we want this to be so the cost, it's one person in the cost. So we want one person, the one person's going. So this is the problem with doing that the math here for this stuff is if we go back to this thing, it's going to take where was that? We know it used the word without. Here it is. So it's going to take the number of workers. It's going to multiply it by the daily work without bonuses, which is 10. So number of workers in the research station is 1, or research office is 1, times this is 10, and then it's going to divide it by the work cost. We want the number to be 500. So we would have to put in here, that's a float. We can just make this thing a float too, because we need it. It actually needs to be a float right now. We could make work cost a float as well, because we need it to be able to, so we need to get to 500. We're going to need 10 divided by 500, 0.02 is what that needs to be. So this is the part that I was saying that kind of sucks for, oh, we got to build it. For the developer. For me, later, I'll be like, why is this 0.2? Probably because I changed this. We can just do this as int, right? To calculate the number of items built. Oh, this is part of the production thing, actually, that we're going to work on tomorrow. Yeah, this is what we're going to work on tomorrow. There's something going wrong here, so actually we can just edit this. That's the thing that is not working. That's what I looked at originally, like first 5 minutes of the stream today. And this is the same thing. Yeah, and then, I'll have to do the math later, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. It might be easier just to have like a number that we type in and then it figures it out. Like you put in, you want it, so you can say like, you type in the average amount and then it figures out the other math. But I don't know. It's I want the least error prone option, but it's just, now let's build this thing. It's just going to be, and once we have all the resources in, we're not going to be fucking with like adding new ones. We will be fucking with their production values a lot. It's going to be, like I said earlier, like a lot of balance for getting the shit to work. So this should be 0.02. So then I wonder what happens when I just change this thing. It's going to force that to be an int. I wonder what happens. We're going to have all sorts of... We're going to have like wild, like, should there be a lot of fish? Should there be a little fish? Should there be... So this should be 500 is what we're looking for, but we got nothing. You know why? I do this every fucking time. You gotta click the add pair afterwards. Oh, I didn't make that unique. I've just changed everything. It's okay, because I think I made the other ones unique. We'll fix it in a second here. Yeah, so that worked. We just gotta do the math on that every time. This thing that we work on tomorrow is gonna have what I did. I think it's gonna cause problems, but that's okay. We can fix it tomorrow, right? There's always tomorrow. Let's make this unique. Let's open this back up. It remembered because I just changed all the generic ones. Let's go back and there was another thing I wanted to put a note on. Okay, yes. Under production data, I want to put a note of what this does. That's good. That has to be set in the inspector by someone. by some human. All right, let's push this code and then call it a day. I was trying to think if there's anything else we need to do that I could knock out really quick. We did fix this thing. This is done. That was the one issue we got finished today. I guess I'm not that close. A couple more weeks. What did we do today? We got created a new resource, a new Godot resource for production values, and got it to work for faction and county resources, which we got to rename. I should just bite the bullet and rename it sometime soon, so that it's going to be a pain in the ass to, and it probably won't be that bad actually to just to find and replace, of those names. But all right, that is it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me. And PP, I will look at my Discord in a minute and say hello. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good